Let me. Okay. Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here, friends. It's the 24th of July, 2025. And yesterday we had some amazing news. I think for a change, I was right. I held on to a little bit of Google, which is doing extremely well. And I had TSLQ, which is also doing very well. So I'm a little bit happy this morning, but still concerned about the way the market is moving. US stock futures are mixed. Nasdaq futures are up. They are up around, I think, let me put myself on the screen so you can see me here. Yeah, it's Canada, 1867. Okay. So we have the Nasdaq futures up more than 0.4%, and S&P futures are flat. Slightly up in the morning, as you can see here. I think it's 8 points or something. Then the choppiness is after the earnings we got for Google and Tesla. And this morning, IBM also disappointed a little bit. European markets are set for early gains amid optimism that US-EU trade agreement could be imminent, mirroring a global lift after the recent US-Japan tariff breakthrough. The FTSE 100, CAC 40, and DAX are all forecasted to go higher by 0.4% to 1.3%. Friends, I have been working on a script separately where I'm thinking through these tariffs that have come in at 15 to 18%. Assume an average of around 17% all taken. That means the American customer is going to pay 17% more. It's like an indirect tax. So how can the earnings or margins or both stay higher? So a reset will come sometime sooner rather than later. And all these positives that we are seeing is just relief rallies, in my opinion. They're momentum based and they're not backed by actual deep research, in my opinion. We'll see what happens, but I'm putting it out there as a statement so that we can check it later on and see if my understanding of the market is reasonable or not. And these kind of sanity checks are needed, I believe. The major headlines are Alphabet and Tesla Q2 earnings. Alphabet soared 3.5% pre-market after exceeding Q2 expectations, posting $2.31 EPS, that is 22% increase year over year, and 96.4 billion in revenue, which is a 14% increase. And the company also hiked its 2025 capex forecast by 108 to 85 billion. 10 billion to 85 billion. So earlier it was 75 billion, now it has become 85 billion, citing sustained demand for cloud and AI services. That to me seems like music to my ears. So I think I could double down on Alphabet. Tesla shares slipped 5% pre-market after warning of a few rough quarters tied to reduced US EV incentives. Revenue fell for a second straight quarter, sparking investor concerns about near-term growth under CEO Elon Musk. Now, CNBC this morning, if you look at the front page, it's all negative news about Elon Musk, multiple negative headlines. Not Musk, but Tesla. So the shares are likely to go down a little bit, but I'm not going to stay short for too long. As soon as my shorts become profitable, I'm going to take my money and run. That's my plan. Trade negotiations are still in focus. Optimism is building around the US-EU trade deal. As President Trump hinted, Europe could be next. Following the Japan agreement, reports suggest that tariffs might settle in the 15% range, with negotiations still going on this week. Now, the deal with Japan is that Japan has not removed its own tariff. It's all reciprocal, 15-15. So that's a good thing. But when you look at Vietnam and Indonesia, those deals, it was zero tariffs for American goods and around 15 or 17% tariff for the Vietnamese and Indonesian goods. That is one-sided. So one-sided is not a good thing. And the negotiation with India is stalled at this point of time because India doesn't want to follow that model. India would rather follow the Japan model, and India would not open up the agriculture sector where 46% of its population works in agriculture sector. So there are a lot of political compulsions, and again, it's a parliamentary democracy. The ruling party would not like to put itself into a difficult position. So that space is yet to watch. And also, the discussion between EU and China is going on, where EU is looking for more trade balance with China. So that discussion is also going on. We have to see how they all fall out. But right now, all this euphoria is because the market is looking at obstacles being taken away and certainty coming in, and that is giving a little bump. But once the certainty is there and everything settles, then people will start focusing on, okay, what is going to be the margin? After all this increase in tariffs, are the sellers going to absorb the tariffs? If so, it's going to affect the margins and the EPS, and therefore share price has to go down. If the sellers do not absorb the tariffs, then the question is the demand going to fall because the supply is higher? Elastic demand goods are likely to respond that way, and when that happens, the purchase of those goods will fall, and therefore again it's going to affect the EPS of these companies and also the revenue of the companies, which will likely go down. So all of that will come into focus, and that's when the market will start going down. Right now it's all shiny objects, in my opinion. Now, in case of companies, Nestle is reviewing its vitamin business after sluggish Q2 sales. Analysts described the unit minus 0.3 revenue growth as disappointing, but noted the company's broader recovery continues. Chipotle stock also fell on new sales miss, while IBM shares dipped due to weak software segment results, even as its profit came above forecast. Loblaws announced for a 4-for-1 stock split to improve share accessibility for investors and employees. And we have the macroeconomic events which are happening. One is the European Central Bank policy update, which will be closely watched for signals of future rate changes, same like what we do for the Federal Reserve. And today, Intel reported Honeywell, Southwest Airlines, and more will release results pre-market, potentially driving sector volatility. And we'll see that in action when we look at our futures out here. And we also have some really good moves. Google has moved pretty well. It is up 3.5%. Tesla has moved badly. It's down more than minus 5%. And we have ECB, which is holding rates steady but is expected to hint at possible cuts later this year. And US jobless claims and flash PMI readings are due today and could influence trading direction. And now, the thing that I'm most worried about today is Trump is visiting Federal Reserve, and the bond market is cautious, in my opinion, and yields are creeping up slightly. Yields going up on longer-term bonds indicate lack of confidence. The Epstein files controversy is not dying, and as a result, Trump was trying to do some extreme shock tactics, including a news cycle charging Obama of being seditious in behavior, and even had Tulsi Gabbard come out and make a press conference. But immediately the media found a clip of Trump saying that you mentioned the word Obama, and the press will just move away and focus on something else. So the press and generally the public is not buying any of those distractions, and that's what worries me, because during this visit to the Federal Reserve, if we get any sound bites that are negative, that could impact the overall market. If the problem is that Trump has a wide arc of influence as a president. So if he does something geopolitical, like say bomb Iran or something, that is something else. If he decides to do something shocking in the business or economy arena, so that people look at that grotesque thing rather than the Epstein files, then it could impact the stock market. Hopefully the Fed visit does not end up being one of those events, but one never knows. That said, let's go and quickly have a look at our stock indices. I'm going to switch to the one window view and go into the 1-day chart for S&P 500 futures. And as you can see, we have crossed above the line of resistance that I had drawn from the topping tail here. So the topping tail has been extinguished. Now we have this diagonal line of resistance, which is holding us back from a target of around 6,669.25. The question is, are we going to buck the trend and go there? Given that the RSI is so overbought, we'll see what happens today. NASDAQ is still trying to break the topping tail out here. I'm just going to expand this a little bit so that we can be more precise. I'm going to recalibrate the chart and move the line that I have here. I hope you are able to see that in your smaller devices. I'm going to thicken it up a little bit. So we have this line at 23,426. That's where we have the topping tail, and we have not crossed that yet. And for today, we are at 23,395, which is just a little bit below this line. So once we break this line, then just like we did in S&P 500, NASDAQ would have broken the topping tail. And once that happens, then the bearishness goes away, and our focus will then be, let me just recalibrate the chart again. Our focus will then be this diagonal line of resistance, which for today is going to be at around 23,646. So we'll have to see what happens when the market opens and things start moving around. The dollar index is firming up a little bit, which means gold would be going down. And you can see here, the 10-year yield is up 2 cents or around 0.55%. It's forming the shoulder. We'll have to see that the shoulder gets formed and then it gets triggered when it goes above the neckline. So that's what we are looking for. And then you have the 20-year, where again a shoulder is forming. We have to see it get triggered above the neckline. 30-year is also up 0.49%. So that's what we have out here. And if we go into the indicators and have a look at what's happening with S&P 500, we have blue skies out here for S&P 500. RSI is overbought, but still not where it has been in the past. Sentiment is still bullish, even though the sentiment is waning. And we have the bearish divergence still persistent despite a lot of moves. And I think that sooner rather than later, this has got to work out. And that time could be the season of earnings that we are seeing right now. One miss in any of the Mag 7, then I think we are going to have some problems. Tesla is already one of those wickets that have dropped, and it is bringing things down a little bit. But we'll have to see what happens with the other Max 7 entities. Next, let us look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ is still following this diagonal line of resistance. It has got support out here today at around 22,664. And I think the resistance for NASDAQ is still the topping tail. This is the topping tail. I'm just going to expand this once again, just so that we can have the line of resistance for the topping tail, which will be a very important line of resistance. I'll put it out here. And this line of resistance is at 23,264.83. So if we were able to break through this 23,264.83, then the topping tail gets extinguished. Otherwise, it is going to be the biggest bearish factor, and which is going to indicate the turnaround or the trend change that is likely to happen. And today, pre-market, we saw that we were up big time. So we'll have to watch this line very closely, in my opinion. And if this line gets breached, then I think the bearishness is gone, and we'll have to look forward to more highs coming in. Now, we look at VIX is placid and gold is down 0.75%. And I think as we come closer to this line, I'll definitely buy some gold on the Canadian side. ZGLD is my target ETF that I would like to buy to have some gold exposure in my portfolio. So that's what I am thinking about. And let us look at QQQ, which shows what's happening pre-market. We are up 0.29% in pre-market trades. And our support for today is going to be 564.61. Everything else is blue skies, regardless of the bearish divergence. Everything is going hunky-dory for the QQQ right now. Now, if we were to look at the put-call ratio, it's mildly bullish to neutral. And let's go on to have a look at AI. In AI, we have NVDA, which is up 1.11%, and we have support today, which is going to be at around 171.54, and that's going to play the role of a support. So I'm going to convert this into a green color out here so that we can all see what's happening, and use this as a gauge for future as well. We have a lot of demand going on for NVIDIA. I mentioned yesterday when we had this red candle that the Hex20 shortage, manufacturing shortage due to capacity at TSMC for China is going to lead to increase in the price. And that's a bullish sentiment I think we are seeing out here, the recalibration. Next, let us look at Meta. Meta is up 0.59%. I think it has broken above this bull flag, and therefore I think it has a long way to go up. Now, I would prefer to buy a little bit of Meta today on the Canadian side, and it's looking good to me. And we have Google. Google is up 3.26%. I already have some amount of Google on the Canadian side, but I would like to buy a little more once the euphoria settles down. Right now, our support is going to be 193.73. I'm going to mark this green. And resistance would come somewhere around 202.70. Let me put that out here for the record. This is going to be the resistance, 202.70. Right now, we're at 197.61. Amazon is another thing that I want to buy. It's up 0.57%. I would like to accumulate a little bit of Amazon. And since the market continues to go upwards, I have decided that I'm getting back in. It could also be that this is to rope up all those cautious bears and then trap them. But I'm going to be very vigilant. I'm going to watch my portfolio like a hawk and sell it at the slightest risk that may come up. But to me, Amazon looks pretty good. And we still have to find out what happened in the meeting between Bezos and Trump. But this reverse head and shoulders and the target that I have out here of around 258.32 seems more plausible given the overall strength of the market and the way it is going. That said, I'd like to look at Microsoft, which is steadily coming down. We haven't had a topping tail so far, except this candle, but the candle was not at the top, so it's not a topping tail. So I wouldn't believe this. This could end up being a bull flag. So I'm keeping my options open on that. And Tesla is down 6.21% right now in pre-market trades. And our support for today is going to be around 297.83. And the resistance is up here at 329.14, which I'm going to mark red. So that's about what we have out there. And Oracle is looking good. It's up 0.65%. So this seems to be a bull flag. And I think we have a target of 253.99 that we need to meet. Next, we have AMD, which is also up 1.07%, same like NVDA, exports to China. And what else do we have here? SMCI is up 0.75% in pre-market trade, support at 50.27, resistance at 53.55 for today. Broadcom is up 2.09%, and it is trying to take out the topping tail that we have had out here. And for your information, I would peg the topping tail at around 291.12. So if we break through that 291.12 today, then I think the topping tail will be neutralized. The topping tail should have had a longer wick, but even now, I think it's a topping tail. So it could indicate a trend reversal, and that could be neutralized today. If that happens, I think Broadcom has got more area to run with. And then we have Palantir, which is down 0.34%. It still has a target of around 161.27. So that's what I have there. I'm just going to look at Tempus AI for our friend Hot Dog. Tempus AI is down 1.33% in pre-market trades, and the support for today is 62.38. I think with the overall AI market doing well, Tempus AI should also have a green candle today, in my opinion. So that's what I have for you guys out there. Let's go on and have a quick look at Genomics and see what's happening out there. Prime continues to move up 1.51, and I think the support for today is going to be 4.55, and the resistance for today is going to be 5.17 for Prime. Right now, we are at 4.71. Intelia is down 0.28% in pre-market trades. We had a doji candle yesterday. We are just above that a little bit before the opening price of yesterday. We are at minus 0.28, slightly below yesterday's opening price. We'll have to see whether we come back to fill up this gap below, or we continue to consolidate. One of those two things have to happen. The RSI is overbought, which means that either consolidation or a drop is required, but the other two indicators are pretty healthy. Now, Caribou Biosciences is up 0.81%, and we have a resistance at around 2.65 and a support at around 2.37, in my opinion. And Beam Therapeutics is down 0.05%. Altimmune is flat in pre-market trades. Verve is continuing to be flat. And we have Editas, which is up 1.45% in pre-market trades. And I think the resistance for today is going to be 3.54, and the support is going to be at around 3.20. I'm going to mark this as a support and mark it green. So there you have it for Editas. Illumina, again, is a star in the making. It's trying to recover, and it's a very good stock. Fundamentally, it's up 0.39% in pre-market trades, and I'm going to mark 103.46 as a support. And if today also we stay above this line, then it would have confirmed, and it will become the new support, which is confirmed, and from there it can build up a base and go upward. So I'm really happy about this. And if I was to look at a target for this one, I would say that I'm looking at a bull flag from here. And if I pick this up and put it from where the bull flag exited, I think I'd have a target of 113.97 for Illumina. Again, my personal opinion, not financial advice. So I'll put it out there. CRISPR Therapeutics is up 2.29% in pre-market trades, and resistance for today is going to be 71.22. The topping tail has been is still in action, and if we take it off today, then we are going to be bullish again. Till then, we have a little bit of doubt. Yesterday was a doji candle with long wicks on each side. So people are hesitant to break this topping tail. We'll have to watch what happens. If we break through above this, then it's clear skies ahead. But if not, we can come down. And that's why I think the market is very evenly balanced, and at this point of time, very well priced, and any bad news can tip it on the other side. Halogen is up 1.20%. Our resistance is going to be 1.79, and support is at 1.35. That's absolute support that you can look at, but intermittently you can look at 1.42 as a support. Grail is up 0.07%, but nothing much to write about here. PSCB down 0.59%. ARCG is flat in pre-market trades. Vertex is down 0.20%. Ginkgo Bioworks is down 4.03%. And Unicure is down 0.13%. And Precision is something that I want to look at. It's up 4.82%. It's at 1.74. My purchase price was 1.91 or 1.92, something in the range. I am holding on for August. We are traveling on the diagonal line of support out here. So it's looking okay. It's looking okay at this point of time. I'm not too much worried about it. So friends, that's what I have for you. And I'd like to see if there's any feedback. Hot Dog is here. And hi, Hot Dog. How are you doing? Hope everything is good. I'm almost done for today's session. And if you guys have any questions, I'd like to answer them. If any ticker you want me to have a look at, I'll do that. Otherwise, I'm ready to wind down the session for now. And I'll catch up with you guys in the next session. Bye for now. See ya.